So, hello all. How are you guys? Are you sure about that? How long have you been here? Like 2 months. So you are fine, I can understand. Like, how are you feeling? What I am thinking is, I'll broadly try to keep this kind of interaction. കാരണം ഞാൻ ഇവിടെ വന്ന് ചുമ്മാ സംസാരിച്ചിട്ട് കാര്യമില്ലല്ലോ. Maybe I'll speak for a little while, but then it is better that we can talk. Discussions, deliberations and dissent is the key to democracy എന്നാണല്ലോ പ്രധാനമന്ത്രി പറഞ്ഞിട്ടുള്ളത്. Yeah. Anyway, like 2 months. After 2 months, how are you guys feeling? I mean, someone can answer. I mean, it's very bad to pick up one person. The key to civil service is interacting with public, okay? I mean, you'll do it a lot when you go to your districts, if you are becoming IAS officers. You are just starting. You will feel as if you are drowning, okay? No, I'm talking about, not just about the നമുക്ക് പഠിക്കാനുള്ളത് മാത്രമല്ല, once you keep going, if you crack the exam, if you get into the service, you are going to feel as if you are adrift in an ocean. മറ്റേ ഒരു സിംഹം അലയും കാട്ടിലെന്നൊക്കെ പറഞ്ഞത് മാതിരി. Okay, yeah, what do I talk about? See, yeah.
This is a batch, we have 2 batch.
Okay.
One is 2 months old.
Okay.
One is 2 weeks old. So all are 2 weeks together.
Very young. Yeah.
Just combined together.
Ha.
Let's see. So some of them are well adjusted now. There
Okay.
are 5 people are still in the province.
Okay. So we've got a batch that is 2 months old and another that's 2 weeks old. Like the first question that I would ask you guys is, how many of you have come because, for how many of you have this been a choice of your own? Okay. എൻ്റെ സ്വന്തം ഇഷ്ടത്തിനാണ്, ഒരു സ്വാധീനവും ഒരു ഇൻഫ്ലുവൻസും ഇല്ലാതെ. 3ാം ക്ലാസ്സിൽ ടീച്ചർ പറഞ്ഞ കേട്ടൊന്നും അല്ല ഞാൻ വന്നത്, എൻ്റെ ഒരു സ്വന്തം താല്പര്യത്തിലാണ് ഞാൻ വന്നതെന്ന് വളരെ കോൺഫിഡൻ്റ് ആയിട്ട് പറയാൻ. ഐ മീൻ, യു ഡോണ്ട് നീഡ് ടു ആൻസർ മീ, ബട്ട് ദാറ്റ് ഇസ് ദ ഫസ്റ്റ് തിങ് ഐ വുഡ് ആസ്ക് യു ടു തിങ്ക് അബൌട്ട്. ബിക്കോസ് സിവിൽ സർവീസ് എക്സാം ആയാലും അതെ, അത് കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ടുള്ള സർവീസ് ആയാലും അതെ, it's a different kind of a thing. I'll tell you something. എനിക്ക് 2ാമത്തെ അറ്റംപ്റ്റ് സിവിൽ സർവീസ് കിട്ടി. After the service allocation came, it was confirmed that I would be given IAS. I would be into IAS. അത് കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് അക്കാഡമിയിൽ പോകണം. You have to go to Labasna for training. ലബാസ്നയിൽ പോകുന്നതിനൊരു 10-15 ദിവസം മുമ്പ് suddenly I started feeling, okay, there is something wrong with the whole world, okay? മൊത്തത്തിൽ എന്തോ ഒരു പ്രശ്നമുണ്ട്. 15 കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് 14 ദിവസം ആയപ്പോഴത്തേക്ക് I started feeling, okay, the problem is not with the world but with me. I am not sure if I will be able to do this. ഇത് 13 ദിവസമായി, 12 ദിവസമായി, ഒരു 7-8 ദിവസം കഴിഞ്ഞപ്പോൾ I started having panic attacks. And Labasne, before that I was enrolled into Armed Forces Headquarters. ആദ്യത്തെ പ്രാവശ്യത്തെ ലിസ്റ്റിൽ നിന്ന് കിട്ടിയിട്ട്. സോ AFHQന്ന് ടെക്നിക്കൽ റെസിഗ്നേഷൻ വാങ്ങാൻ പോകുന്ന ദിവസം I went into full scale nervous breakdown. I am like, okay, I cannot do this. I don't think I am cut out for this. I want to back out. റിസൈൻ ചെയ്ത JRFന്റെ റെസിഗ്നേഷൻ തിരിച്ചെടുക്കാൻ പറ്റുമോ എന്നൊക്കെ ഞാനിങ്ങനെ ചോദിച്ചു തുടങ്ങിയിരുന്നു. I was asking around, like, can we get extraordinary EOL during training time? Things like that. Because I was not at all confident. So, I mean, what I'm trying to say is, this is a kind of thing that the whole service represents. Maybe നമ്മൾ തുടക്കത്തിൽ പ്രിപ്പയർ ചെയ്യുന്ന സമയത്ത് തുടക്കത്തിലൊന്നും ഇതിൻ്റെ ഒരു വ്യാപ്തിയും ആഴവും മനസ്സിലാക്കത്തില്ല. ലൈക്ക് വാട്ട് ഐ ആം സൈനിങ് അപ്പ് ഫോർ എന്നുള്ളത്. This is something I want all of you guys to seriously think about, because നമ്മൾ ജനറലി നമ്മൾ സ്റ്റാർട്ട് ചെയ്യുമ്പോഴും അപ് ടു എ പോയിന്റ്, ദ തിങ് ദറ്റ് വി ഓൾവേസ് തിങ്ക് അബൌട്ട് ഇസ് ദ UPSC exam. We keep saying that this is a mother of all exams and things like that. But we don't really think about what the service is, what this service actually represents, and what you as a civil servant represent. Okay. Like we yesterday celebrated the 77th Independence Day, and this is a country that has gone through hundreds of crises within these 77 years. I will tell you, if the country has been able to overcome all that crises, and if it has been able to preserve its democracy through all these years, a very high part of that is because we had really, really good civil servants, really, really good bureaucrats. Because if your bureaucracy today decides that, okay, ഈ രാജ്യം ഒരു പട്ടാള ഭരണത്തിൽ വന്നാൽ ആയിരിക്കും കൂടുതൽ രസം എന്ന് തീരുമാനിച്ചു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ യു ആർ ഗോൺ. ബിക്കോസ് നമ്മൾ എലക്ട് ചെയ്ത് വിടുന്ന ഗവൺമെന്റ്സ് ഭരിക്കുന്നത് ഈ ബ്യൂറോക്രസീനെ ഉപയോഗിച്ചിട്ടാണ്. So whatever is the will of this bureaucracy is a thing that prevails at the end of the day. Appo, like I just talked about a possibility of a military takeover. Appo, can someone answer me, why is it that this country was never taken over by a military? Or why is it that in 1977, after a very dark period, democracy was restored? I mean, what role does a bureaucrat has to play in that? And I feel this is a way in which you guys should start thinking about when you are starting your preparation, because it's not a textbook മറ്റേ ഗുളിക വിഴുങ്ങും പോലെ വിഴുങ്ങിയിട്ട് എഴുതാൻ പാടായിരിക്കും ഈ പരീക്ഷ. ലൈക്ക് കഴിഞ്ഞ പ്രിലിംസ് നമ്മൾ കണ്ടു how they have totally shook up things. So anyway, I need someone to answer this. What is the role of the bureaucracy in that kind of a thing? Why is it that India continues as a democracy, and what role does a bureaucracy has to play in that?
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
There has been no military coup in India because India being a representative democracy, we still have some faith in the government that we have elected. So
Some faith.
faith, yes, the government that
I have total faith in my elected government.
So that is the reason why military coup is still not a thing. in India.
പേരെന്തായിരുന്നു?
Abhirami.
Okay. I mean, I have total faith in my elected government. So, that aside, see, the role of the bureaucracy is that നമ്മുടെ bureaucracy decide ചെയ്ത് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ, okay, we are going to help military എന്ന് നമ്മുടെ bureaucracy decide ചെയ്ത് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ, that will happen. There will be all the possibility that the bureaucracy will take over. നൈജറോ പാകിസ്ഥാനോ പോലുള്ള ഒരു രാജ്യത്ത് why is military coups possible? Because the bureaucrats are weak, but our bureaucrats are independent. Our bureaucrats are they are ready to withstand the pressure. That is what I am trying to tell you. As bureaucrats, as civil servants, you will be subjected to all sorts of pressures. So it is possibly this is a time when you as an individual has to think about the question whether am I cut out for this kind of a thing? Am I ready? I mean, this is not the only career before me or you. ഞാൻ ഈ പറഞ്ഞ പോലെ എൻ്റെ നെർവസ് ബ്രേക്ക് ഡൗൺ ഒക്കെ കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് അക്കാഡമിയിലോട്ട് കയറുമ്പം ഞാൻ today I came with my friend, so I think I also told him, I was telling, I am not going to enter this place with the decision that the next 36 years I am going to serve in this place. I will serve only till that period when I feel happy, satisfied. Like first I'll try to be in this place, maybe 2 months, 3 months, 6 months. If I feel comfortable only, I will be here. Otherwise, I have no use being here, and the country has no use keeping such a bureaucrat who is just slogging, toiling there. So that is one thing ഐ മീൻ ഞാൻ ഈ പറഞ്ഞു വരുന്നത് ഞാൻ വേറെ ആരെങ്കിലും ഫോഴ്സ് ചെയ്തിട്ട് പ്രിപ്പയർ ചെയ്യാൻ തുടങ്ങിയെന്നല്ല. ഐ കെയിം ഓൺ മൈ ഓൺ. People were asking me to go into research career and I came on my own. That is not what I am saying, but what I am trying to say is this is like you are very young into preparation. This is a time when what I would advise you is like we have now UPSC ഈ ഒരു പരീക്ഷ നടത്തിയിട്ട് 18 സർവീസിലോട്ട് UPSC എടുക്കുന്നുണ്ട്. നിങ്ങൾ ആരെങ്കിലും എൻറോൾ ചെയ്യുന്ന സമയത്ത് ഈ 18 സർവീസുകളുടെയും ജോബ് ഡിസ്ക്രിപ്ഷൻ വായിച്ചു നോക്കിയിട്ടുണ്ടോ? Has anyone done that? ഞാനും ചെയ്തിട്ടില്ല. ഐ മീൻ നമ്മൾ ചെയ്യാത്ത നമ്മുടെ തെറ്റിന്നാണല്ലോ നമ്മള്. So thing is, I would ask you to do that today or tomorrow or the next Sunday, but beyond next Monday, before next Monday, because see, you have to first be aware of what job am I signing up for. What does an IAS officer do? What does an IPS officer do? What does an officer belonging to Indian Civil Trade Service do? Indian Civil Trade Service എന്താ? Indian Defense State Service എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞിട്ടൊരു സർവീസ് ഉണ്ട്. Do any of you know what that service does? I was with Armed Forces Headquarters. Armed Forces Headquarters Civil Service എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞിട്ടൊരു Group B സർവീസ് ഉണ്ട്. Do any of you know what that service is? So before, I mean somebody might know. I'm not saying that no one knows. Today's kids are way better than when I was preparing. You are much more addicted to information than us. All sorts of information, yeah. Anyway, thing is, all of you, I would say all of you should be basically at least aware of what I am preparing for. ഞാൻ UPSC എക്സാമിന് സിവിൽ സർവീസ് എക്സാമിന് പ്രിപ്പയർ ചെയ്യുന്നു എന്ന് പറയുമ്പോഴത്തേക്കും ലെറ്റ്സ് ബി അറ്റ് ലീസ്റ്റ് അവെയർ ഓഫ് ഓൾ ദ സർവീസസ് ടു വിച്ച് ഐ ക്യാൻ ഗെറ്റ് ഇൻ ടു. ആൻഡ് ലെറ്റ്സ് ബി പ്രിപ്പയർഡ് ഇഫ് ഐ ഗെറ്റ് ഇൻ ടു ദിസ്. I am kind of ready to take up the responsibility of whichever service is being given to me. നമ്മൾ പ്രിപ്പയർ ചെയ്ത് ട്രാക്കിലേക്കൊക്കെ വരുന്നതിന് മുമ്പ് ഐ തിങ്ക് ദിസ് ഈസ് ദ ഫസ്റ്റ് തിങ് ദറ്റ് വി ഷുഡ് make sure. And another thing at this stage I would advise you, like one of you said, no, it's very overwhelming. Thing is, it's going to be much more overwhelming. So again, what I would say is try to take things lightly. I mean, it's not going to be the end of the world, whatever happens. ഇപ്പൊ എന്ത് സംഭവിച്ചാലും I mean, world will go on, right? നമ്മളൊക്കെ വിചാരിക്കും ഒക്കെ നാളെ ഞാൻ ഇല്ലെങ്കിൽ എല്ലാം തീർന്നു എന്ന്. തിരുനെൽവേലിയിൽ നിന്ന് റിലീവ് ചെയ്യുമ്പോഴത്തേക്കും I was like, okay, ഞാൻ കഴിഞ്ഞു, ഇനിയിപ്പോ ഇതൊക്കെ ആര് ചെയ്യുവാകും. People are doing. So things will happen. I mean, whether you qualify for something else, things will happen. So try to kind of let go sometimes. Try to have that psychological balance always. Do whatever practice that kind of makes you happy, kind of makes you stay focused. And from a very technical perspective about exams, if you feel that okay, things are really overwhelming, there's a huge thing to study, break it down into small parts, set smaller goals. One small goal achieve ചെയ്യുമ്പോഴത്തേക്കും give yourself some small reward, and like that. Like I used to be like, okay, Lakshmikant ഈ chapter വായിച്ചു തീർത്തു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ I'll see one episode of my favorite web series. That used to be nice. That used to work. Like whatever works for you. So try for that. So generally, I think like this is what I primarily wanted to say to you. Now I think we'll have more of an interaction. ഈ തുടക്കത്തിൽ വരുമ്പോഴാണല്ലോ എല്ലാവർക്കും ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ ചോദിക്കാൻ കൂടുതൽ താല്പര്യം. Like when we go on, keep going on, our questions dry up. So like if you have questions, queries, anything, social, political, economical, environmental, personal, anything.
So you said you didn't want to go for research and you went to civil services.
Yeah.
What made you take that decision? Like I am also in a current position like that, like whether go for research, go for civil services.
Okay, your name?
My name is Ashwati.
Okay. You are you now pursuing research or?
No, I'm not pursuing research. So my plan B was to pursue research, if not civil services. So
Have you got a plan C?
no, I don't.
Okay. Nice. Thing is, what made me okay, have we got people who don't know Malayalam here? Yeah, good.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Ciao. So, it's nice. Otherwise, I would have spoken in Malayalam and then people would have been like, okay, this is really discriminatory. You are promoting regionalism. Okay. Okay. Anyway, thing is, this was 2018. I had no plans whatever of getting into civil service. In fact, I had worked with civil society organizations and I used to hate civil servants because, you know, they stood against whatever we take to them, they'll say, no, it's not possible. They used to practice the ABCD rule of civil service. Avoid, that one. Yeah, so this was a time when Kerala floods 1.0 happened. It is like a reality show, right? It happens every year. So now I am planning to go to Delhi by 19th itself because usually it happens around 25th. If flights get cancelled, I cannot go. So floods 1.0. I wanted to volunteer. So I went to volunteer and somehow I became a kind of part of the, core voluntary team that was doing a lot of stuff, coordination and stuff like that. And then I got associated, I saw the work being done by some very young dynamic civil servants who were then here. So I was thinking, by that time I was starting to think okay, this whole academia thing is a little less dynamic for my taste. Because I always loved, interacting with public. I loved traveling. I loved being active generally. So I was thinking like, okay, research maybe, or research, not just research, but the teaching profession may be a little less dynamic. That thought was already there. And that is when I met the civil servants. And that is when I, kind of saw the kind of impact that they can make if they wanted to. And the kind of change that they can bring about if they wanted to. So I thought, okay, this is interesting. By that time, one definite advantage I had was, I was into public speaking, debating, that kind of thing. So for that only, I started reading, newspapers, things like that from 2014 onwards, from my degree first year onwards. I also read the NCERT textbooks because one of my debating mentors told me, okay, if you read, NCERT textbooks, that will kind of, enrich your content as far as debating is concerned. So for that, I had read my NCERT textbooks. I was continuously reading newspapers because for a professional debater, that is very important. Now, only thing I had to do was pick an optional, do that optional coaching. And I thought, okay, 2019, I thought, okay, I'll give an attempt simply, out of curiosity. How does it feel to, give an attempt and just lose? So, in that, I wanted to there are these people who, work hard only after they suffer losses. Okay, so I wanted to kind of get that taste of the loss, so I gave the prelims. But somehow, as luck would have it, or I cracked. I didn't expect. So, like when the list came, it was like no one expected. I didn't expect. My father didn't expect. My mother didn't expect. The rest of the people, I didn't even tell that I wrote a prelims. So when the list came, it was like one fine evening, the list came. I didn't check. The next day also, I didn't check. The day after that also, I didn't check. Then one person who knew that I had written the prelims, he called and told me, bro, at least you check for my sake. I told no need. It is pointless. But he called me 4 or 5 times, and finally, to, just stop his annoyance, like we took that PDF and checked prelims result. So, like we took the hall ticket and all, and like my father was reading, numbers one by one. Like Malayalis would know that Kilikam moment. It was like that. Then my father was like, he took off his spectacles, wiped, checked again, and Amma was in kitchen. He called her. He told her, I think there is some problem with my eyes. You check also. So it was like that. I never expected. But once that happened, there was no coming back. I had already started my PhD. I qualified JRF before itself. So I had already, because if I didn't start my PhD, my JRF would go invalid. So I had already enrolled. But now, if I come back to research, people will say that this guy has got huge arrogance. He gets prelims and then comes back to, research. What kind of guy is this? So there was no coming back. But I still love my research. My research is going on. I think it will go on forever anyway. Yeah, that is it. Like, that is how I got into, civil service, in spite of it's not my doing. It's not my fault. Yeah, sure. Haha. Don't you guys have usually... Yeah. Usually what happens is that in the initial period, I used to mentor for an academy back in August 2020. It was such an annoying job because, in the initial period, kids used to call up for everything. They had too many questions. Come on, you have to ask something. Otherwise, I'll feel okay.
If I talk about myself personally, this is the first time that I'm staying away from home in a hostel situations. It's just been 2 weeks since I've been away from home.
Okay.
And I generally know that we have to keep our final aim in mind and work for it. But there are certain situations that come up every other day to which we associate more importance. And we think that that particular situation is going to decide whatever we do further. And we sometimes tend to forget our bigger picture, the final aim. So how should we keep that aim in mind and work for it continuously? Like not go astray from our path.
See, I don't have a, I don't have a shortcut for this. In the sense, it's very personalized. Different people will have to do it different ways. But then, see, that's what I said. Like, you have to be very clear for what you have to be very clear on what you are trying to achieve. What happens to a lot of people is that we keep looking at the, this glitter and glamour of the service. Most of us don't have a proper motivation to, crack the exam. Like, people want to crack the exam to, train in Labasna. Some people want to crack the exam because IAS officers or generally civil service officers get that car and all. Some other people want to crack because, okay, police will salute you. See, what I will say is, 2 days you will enjoy the salute. Third day you will say, like, I don't have time for this. You guys stay somewhere else. I don't want this police stuff and all. Chalo, chodo. Okay, honestly, that is what happens. Because what am I going to do with a gunman who always follows me around? I cannot even call somebody. I want to make a private call, okay? In the middle of the day, I want to call up my girlfriend. I'm not saying that I got a girlfriend or anything. And I'm not making any assertions. But what will I do if this gunman is around? I work in Tamil Nadu, okay? Tamil Nadu people generally understand Malayalam also. I mean, honestly. So, that is not the whole thing. But, see, there is this other thing where I keep saying this to all the people, young people who call me up. When I was in Tirunelveli, like one day, let us say I am going to my office, I am very cranky, I am very grumpy, I am not feeling good. I want to, cause as much suffering for people as possible on that particular day. Even if I go out with that mentality, by the time I come back to my home at around 8:30 in the evening, I would have helped out at least 5-6 people in some way. I would have improved. It is not because of me. That is the nature of the job. If you are there and if you are in your office, you would have brought about some kind of positive change in the lives of at least 5-6 people in a given day, even if you don't want to do anything. So, if you really want to do something, the kind of thing that you can achieve, that is the kind of thing that should essentially motivate you. If you have that desire, like, okay, I want to change the lives of people. I want to make a, tangible change. I want to, leave that legacy. I want to leave that, I want to leave that mark. If you have that kind of thing, all these, things like, okay, I am staying away from home for the first time. So much of nostalgia. All this will end up becoming, because then you will have a real cause to follow. Then these things will become, okay, they'll be there, definitely. But over time, definitely, even if you don't have a cause, over time you will start enjoying your hostel. Staying away from home, personally, for me, staying away from home for the first time was all about independence. Like, yeah, honestly, whether you are a boy or a girl or a grown-up man, or even if you are very old, into your 80s, if you get into your home at 12:30 at night, people at home will ask, where were you? But who is going to ask me in the hostel? I can stay till 4 o'clock. Nobody will ask. Very beautiful. See, think about it that way. Try to enjoy that. You got all the freedom. You got, your studies are there at one side. But apart from that, you got all this time. Trivandrum it's a very happening place. Along with your studies, try to explore. That will kind of help you find. It's all about finding purpose at the end of the day. Whether you keep motivated for the civil service exam, like I said, it's also about purpose. Whether you want to stay in the hostel, it's also about purpose. So, my advice is make good friendships, try to explore. Throughout your life is just, open before you. You are not going to stay at your home for the rest of your life. You will have to move around. That is the nature of life. That is I don't want to be philosophical, but that is how it is. People keep coming and going. So, best way is to, find happiness in that.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Questions are coming only from one side. This side also can ask questions.
Boys are generally self-sufficient creatures.
So, no, we are both. No,
Okay.
we are not sitting.
Okay. Generally, the really beautiful questions come from the backbenchers. You know, I used to be a backbencher. I used to make all kinds of trouble.
And one from the front row.
Yeah.
സാറിന് പ്രിപ്പറേഷൻ്റെ ഇടയ്ക്ക് നമുക്ക് മോട്ടിവേഷൻ കിട്ടി നമ്മൾ നന്നായിട്ട് പഠിച്ചു തുടങ്ങും. എന്നിട്ടൊരു പോയിന്റ് എത്തുമ്പം നമുക്ക് ഈ കാര്യങ്ങളൊന്നും നമ്മൾ വിചാരിക്കാൻ പോവാത്തപ്പം നമുക്ക് ഇത് നമ്മളെ പണിയാണോ എന്ന് നമുക്കൊരു പോയിന്റ് വരുമല്ലോ.
സ്വാഭാവികം.
അതെങ്ങനെ കോപ്പ് ചെയ്യും?
അത് ഓവർകം ചെയ്യാന്ന് പറയുമ്പോഴത്തേക്കും the best way to overcome that is try to talk to your friends. They'll be worst off. അപ്പൊ നമുക്കൊരു സമാധാനം കിട്ടും. ഓക്കെ, ഞാൻ മാത്രല്ല. പിന്നെ ഐ തിങ്ക് ഇൻ എ വൈൽ they'll start putting class test. Okay, അപ്പം and you start writing your class test, look at other people's score also. അപ്പം you will feel key. Okay, there are people worse than me. I am not the ഈ ഏറ്റവും ബാക്കിൽ നടന്നു വരുന്ന ആളിനാണല്ലോ കോക്കാച്ചി പിടിച്ചോണ്ട് പോവുക. So anyway, thing is, see, when you reach that stage where when you feel ഇതെന്റെ പണിയല്ല എന്ന് തോന്നുന്ന സ്റ്റേജിൽ the only thing നേരത്തെ essentially എല്ലാം നേരത്തെ പറഞ്ഞ സംഭവമാണ്. The thing that should motivate you is that I have to reach there. I have to leave that tangible mark. I have to see, essentially when you get into preparation, that should be the key. I have to make a change. People should talk about me having made a change. That is what this service is all about. This service offers you, like my collector used to say, in India, if there is something that an IAS officer cannot do, then nobody else can do it. Because it's not about your power. I mean, your power is a different thing. But there is another kind of thing, another kind of environment in which it's about the respect basically. Like, it's about a mutual respect. It's about the connections that you build. Let us say something happened in, like day before, there is this thing going on in Himachal Pradesh, right? Rain and stuff. So one person was missing, one person from Kerala. So some of their friends informed me, is there any way to track? So what I did was, I took the number of the SP from that particular locality where this person was last found. I called up the SP. I have no connection with this person. I just called up the SP and I said, sir, I am this and this guy from this batch, IAS officer. He responded. That is a kind of thing that you carry. That is a kind of thing this service carries. So remember that you are trying to get into that kind of a thing. And remember that this is a kind of platform that will give you an opportunity to make that mark. Other platforms also definitely, but this is one of those platforms. You are trying to reach there. Keep affirming that. Keep that thing in mind. And if you can really make that thing a part of your preparation, then you will feel inspired every time. Okay, എല്ലാം പോയി കഴിഞ്ഞു, നശിച്ചു തീർന്നു എന്ന് വിചാരിക്കുമ്പോഴത്തേക്കും you will have that there is something for which I am. See, always the important thing is to have that purpose. If you lack purpose, you will feel this way. Have that purpose. This is why I am doing this. So find that purpose first. That is what I said initially. നിങ്ങൾ താമസിക്കുന്ന എവിടെയായാലും അവിടെ പോയിട്ട് ഇന്ന് വൈകുന്നേരം ഒരു മൂലയിൽ സ്വസ്ഥമായിട്ടിരുന്നിട്ട് think and find that purpose. then things will, kind of happen.
താങ്ക് യു സർ.
Yeah.
സർ,
Yeah.
ഓരോരുത്തർക്കും ഓരോ പാറ്റേൺ ഉണ്ടാവില്ല സ്റ്റഡി പഠിക്കാൻ വേണ്ടിയിട്ടുള്ളത്. അപ്പം പിന്നെ ബെറ്റർ ആയെന്ന് തോന്നുന്നു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ അത് അഡോപ്റ്റ് ചെയ്യണോ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ നമ്മുടെ സ്വന്തം രീതിയിൽ തന്നെ പോയാൽ മതിയോ പഠിത്തം?
എന്റെ ജീവിതം ഞാനത് പൊറോട്ട പോലെ അടിക്കും, ദോശ പോലെ ചുടും. Okay. Thing is, lot of these toppers put up, they put up strategies, stuff like that. Paksha, I will tell you, there is no one fits all approach. For them that strategy worked out. But it doesn't mean that it will work out for me. My preparation, for example, was really serendipitous. Like, I didn't go for a coaching, and I gave my first attempt in the middle of my PG exams. That is when I accidentally cracked. Accidental prime minister എന്നൊക്കെ പറയും പോലെ. Okay, so accidental officer. So that need not, or that may not, or that will not work out for everybody. So if I come and say that this is a strategy, you guys give your first attempt in the middle of your PG. First attempt കൊടുക്കാൻ വേണ്ടി വേണേ നിങ്ങൾ ഡിഗ്രി കഴിഞ്ഞ് PGക്ക് വെക്കോ എന്നൊക്കെ പറഞ്ഞ് it doesn't work out. Okay, so you go through the strategies. If you feel that this is good for me, you adopt it. If you want to adopt a different, if you have something that you feel, okay, this is better for me, you adopt that. After all, I am the person who is writing the exam. 𝐏𝐿𝐦𝐬നും ജാഗ്രതി അവസ്ഥയും ഗോകുലും ഒന്നും വന്ന് നിങ്ങൾക്ക് പരീക്ഷ എഴുതി തരാൻ പോകുന്നില്ല. Okay, so you are the one who is writing the exam. You make your own strategy. If you feel that, okay, somebody else's strategy is good for me, okay, well and good.
താങ്ക് യു സർ.
ഗുഡ് ആഫ്റ്റർനൂൺ സർ.
Yeah.
സർ, ഈ IAS ഓഫീസേഴ്സിനെ സ്റ്റീൽ ഫ്രെയിം ഓഫ് ദ കൺട്രി എന്നൊക്കെയാണ് വിളിക്കുന്നതെങ്കിലും
അതെ,
സംടൈംസ് ഈ പൊളിറ്റിക്കൽ മാസ്റ്റേഴ്സിന് അനുകൂലമായിട്ട് നിൽക്കേണ്ട ഒരു അവസ്ഥ ഉണ്ടാകുന്നുണ്ടല്ലോ. അപ്പോൾ അങ്ങനെ ഒരു സിറ്റുവേഷൻ ഉണ്ടാകുമ്പോൾ അതിനെ എങ്ങനെയാണ് മാനേജ് ചെയ്യേണ്ടത്?
അങ്ങനെ ഒരു സിറ്റുവേഷൻ ഉണ്ടാവും. Okay. Thing is, I'll tell you very honestly. ഈ നമ്മൾ പറയുന്ന, I am talking about Tamil Nadu. I am not talking about Kerala. I am an officer of Tamil Nadu. I have nothing to do with this state. Okay. ഇനി പറയാം. I had a history teacher, okay. Whatever incident, contemporary incident he used to narrate, he used to say like, okay, this didn't happen here. This happened in North Korea. Okay. So, anyway, the place where I come from, the place where I work, what I have found is, these political masters and the people whom you called, these people are elected by the people, or otherwise these people are people who know the pulse of the people. You are working in a democracy, right? But as a bureaucrat, I don't know the pulse of the people. Who knows the pulse of the people? This guy knows. So, in many situations, she or he will know better than me what will work and what will not work. That is a basic understanding with which you approach every politician that comes to you. Number one. Number two, these guys are elected by the people. They represent the will of the people. So, the laws that they make and things like that is a will of the people. As a bureaucrat who got through the exam, I cannot overpower it. That is number two. And number three is, there is an environment of mutual respect within which you work. Okay. It's not like most of our perspective of how we deal with, how bureaucrats deal with politicians. There is a stereotype. If you are a politician, you are corrupt. And if you are a bureaucrat, you are honest. ഇത് രണ്ടും തെറ്റാണ്. വളരെ ഓണസ്റ്റ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള പൊളിറ്റീഷ്യൻസിനെയും വളരെ കറപ്റ്റ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള ബ്യൂറോക്രാറ്റ്സിനെയും ഞാൻ കണ്ടിട്ടുണ്ട്. So, these things are built usually by your popular media, cinema, things like that. And also, this perception that, okay, very honest, upright officer, this politician comes in, and then what does this bureaucrat, and this politician says something and a bureaucrat says, you get out of this place. Okay, I am Alex Joseph Thevalli Permal. What is that? Okay, that is not how it works, and that is not how it should work. That is not it. Like, when a politician comes to you, you treat them with respect. Then, when they ask you to do something, do it within the legal frame. If it is not doable within the legal frame, you don't do it. That is my uprightness. My heroism കാണിക്കേണ്ട സ്ഥലമല്ല നമ്മുടെ ഓഫീസ്. That is a key thing. Your office is a place where you work. It's not a place where you show your heroism. So, I am entitled to do things which are within the legal frame. And see, they will come to you with 100 requests. They know that 50 of these are not possible. They also understand that. But when they come to you, you treat them with a kind of respect. You make them sit down. You hear them out. And then you say, I will see if it is possible within the legal thing, if it is possible legally, if it is possible, I will do it. Both will be happy. And what happens is, these people know the MLA, our speaker, Tamil Nadu State Assembly speaker is from my district, my former district, okay. So, he's a very nice person. We had a good, very, very nice relationship. When, he comes to you with some request, there will be all these അണികളൊക്കെ ഉണ്ടാവും പുള്ളിയുടെ കൂടെ. അപ്പോൾ നമ്മൾ പുള്ളിയുടെ അണികളുടെ ഫ്രണ്ടിൽ വെച്ച് നമ്മൾ പുള്ളിനെ ഒരുമാതിരി if we shame them, that will be very bad. He will feel very bad. Then there will be some issues. But you treat them with respect, you listen to them, and you say, I will do whatever is possible. So everybody is happy. And then, of course, as officers, you are also HR managers. Your key thing is managing your human resources. It is a part of managing the politicians within your place, is also part of that. Managing the human resource. That's part of your job. So nothing more, nothing less.
Hello sir, it's me again.
Yeah.
Sir, ഈ ജോബിന് ഈ IAS കിട്ടുന്നതിന് മുമ്പ് കുറെ എക്സ്പെക്ടേഷൻസ് ഉണ്ടാവുമല്ലോ മനസ്സിൽ. റിയാലിറ്റി എത്രത്തോളം അത് സിമിലർ ആണോ? ഇസ് ഇറ്റ് ബെറ്റർ ദാൻ വാട്ട് യു എക്സ്പെക്ടഡ്?
അത് നമ്മുടെ എക്സ്പെക്ടേഷൻ എന്താണെന്നുള്ള അനുസരിച്ചിരിക്കും. എന്താണ് താങ്കളുടെ എക്സ്പെക്ടേഷൻസ്? ടെൽ മീ.
എന്റെ അങ്ങനെയല്ല, ലൈക്ക് ഒരു നമുക്ക് വിചാരിക്കുന്ന ഒരു ബാലൻസ്ഡ് അപ്രോച്ച് കിട്ടും, അങ്ങനെയൊക്കെ ആയിരിക്കും.
എങ്ങനെ?
ഒരു വർക്ക് ലൈഫ് ബാലൻസ്, അങ്ങനെയൊക്കെ ഒരു യൂഷ്വലി ജോബിന് മുമ്പ് കിട്ടുന്ന ഒരു എക്സ്പെക്ടേഷൻ ഉണ്ടാവുമല്ലോ. അങ്ങനെ
വർക്ക് ലൈഫ് ബാലൻസ് കേരളത്തിൽ കിട്ടും. I mean, it is different with different places. Like, different cadres expect different things from you. A lot of things, but generally, take this from me. Work-life balance, it's not, especially if you get into IAS, IPS, it's not a desk job. Don't go expecting that. It's not a 9 to 5 job. It's a 24/7 job. You are called up on Sundays, you have to go on Sundays. You are called up at 3 o'clock at night, you have to answer. It's a 24/7 job. And for me, at this point of time, that is a fun of it also. I mean, and no one day is like the previous day. Monday will be totally different from Sunday. Thursday will be absolutely different. And there will be all these crazy things happening in between. Like, some people will come with really weird petitions, weird requests. Some people will come with absolutely, you will think, you will pinch yourself thinking that, okay, am I dreaming? That kind of request people come up with. It's all the fun of that job. It's not work-life balance in the way you meant it, 8 hours, work, 8 hours free time, 8 hours sleep doesn't happen with IAS, IPS especially. Other services, it's more, you get, but IAS, IPS especially, that doesn't happen because you are perpetually on duty. Only times when you are free are like this, when right now I am on joining leave, which means that I am nowhere. I am neither there nor here. So nobody will call me up. And even if somebody calls me up, I can say that, okay, I am not part of your office. Like, I got relieved from Tirunelveli, but even now I get 2-3 calls per day from that district asking for something or the other. And sometimes I have to do it also because, it's not good to deny people. Otherwise, okay, it's a lot. It's dependent on what you expect from the service. Like I said, no, if you expect that, I will be, everybody will come and call me sir, madam. That also happens. Or policemen will salute you. They will salute you, but eventually you will get frustrated with that all. But like I said, it's a job where you can give so much to the society. You can give so much. As an assistant collector under training, I have been able to generate over 1,000 jobs in that district. Think of it, 1,000 women getting employment. See, that is the potential, that I want to, lay before you. Now, think about it. I, as a person, want to be part of that reality where, all these women are, organized, they are provided employment. The whole place changes before your eyes. The whole place changes like anything before your eyes. That is the kind of reality, that is the kind of thing that is the kind of potential that this service offers to you.
Once we get into the services, as officers, we are expected to travel across India, go to different states. We are posted in different states.
Yeah.
So the first problem that the officer might be encountering is to gain the confidence of the people there, the natives there. Because even if we have their best interest in our minds, they will be apprehensive of approaching us with their problems. So how to break the ice? What serves as an icebreaker in situations like that?
Okay, I will tell you one, what we call fallacy, from which, or an issue in thought from which you are approaching the whole thing.
Sure, sir.
Yeah. We will have the best interest of people in mind, but they don't recognize. See, understand that the people whom we service are not fools. Okay, it's a very clear thing. So, if I have their best interest in my mind, within, let's say 2-3 months, they will understand. They will come to you. You don't even need to go out. They will come. You have to show them that I got your best interest in mind. When somebody approaches you with a problem, you have to make sure that a solution is found as much as possible. I mean, every problem there is no solution. Like in Tamil Nadu, we have a system where every Monday is set aside for collecting petitions from the public. Like what used to be our Janasamparka Parivadi. But here collectors do it and officers do it. So 100 petitions comes, maybe 80 petitions don't have a solution. Some will be bogus petitions. Some will be asking, things which are not at all doable. Some people will also ask for one plot of land in Moon. Okay. We cannot do all that. But these 20 petitions for which there is a solution, you ensure that within that week, before the next Monday, a solution is found. That increases the confidence. Then people will start saying, okay, if you go to that officer, things will get done. So you have got the best interest of the people in mind. People have got their confidence in you. It is a way you perform. It is a way you deal with people. And another very important thing, like if you get into the service, be always ready to listen to people. Don't assume that I know everything. We don't know anything. We know nothing. You know nothing, Jon Snow. You've heard. Same thing. We know nothing. Okay, you might have cracked the UPSC exam. You call it the mother of all exam. Nothing. You don't know. There is this film, no? Malayalam film. 1 kilo അരിയുടെ വില എത്രയാണ്? Okay. 100 വിനോദയാത്ര, യെസ്. 100 ഗ്രാം എണ്ണ, ഒരു യൂണിറ്റ് ഇലക്ട്രിസിറ്റിയുടെ ഇപ്പോഴത്തെ കേരളത്തിലെ വില എത്രയാ? 7 രൂപ. ഓക്കെ. നിങ്ങളുടെ വീട്ടിൽ എത്രയാ വാട്ടർ ബില്ല് വരുന്നേ? I mean, that will differ considerably. But 1 ലിറ്റർ വെള്ളത്തിന് എത്ര രൂപയാ? Okay, fine. Somebody is trying to say something. Nobody is really confident. I also don't know. Okay. So, what I'm trying to say is, we don't know. We sit at an office without knowing all this. So, to understand a common man's problem, try to be open. Try to listen to them. And നിങ്ങൾ അവരെ വിളിച്ചിരുത്തി അവരുടെ പേരൊക്കെ ചോദിച്ച് അവരുടെ പ്രശ്നം കേൾക്കുമ്പോൾ തന്നെ half of them will be happy. That is a key. That is how you gain the confidence.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
So just to summarize, be patient and put our best foot forward. Things will fall in place, isn't it?
Yeah, you will make a nice secretary. You
Thank
do
you,
summarize nicely.
Thank you, sir.
If you could have summarized it so well, I mean, there was no point to ask.
No, sir. Getting insights from a person like you is the fuel to that summary.
Fine enough.
That is necessary.
Yeah.
She's the right track for that.
Ha.
ഹായ് സർ.
Yeah.
സർ, ഈ കേക്കൊക്കെ ബേക്ക് ചെയ്യുന്ന അവൻ പോലെയാണ് ലബാസ്ന എന്ന് കേട്ടിട്ടുണ്ട്. സാറ് പോകുന്നതിന് മുമ്പും ഭയങ്കര നെർവസ് ആണെന്ന് പറഞ്ഞു. ലബാസ്ന എങ്ങനെയാണ് ഒരു കോമൺ പേഴ്സണിനെ ഒരു ബ്യൂറോക്രാറ്റ് ആയിട്ട് ചേഞ്ച്
അല്ല, ആ മെറ്റാഫോർ എക്സ്പ്ലെയിൻ ചെയ്യാവോ? കേക്ക് ബേക്ക് ചെയ്യുമ്പോഴാണല്ലോ. എനിക്ക് മനസ്സിലായില്ല.
സർ, ഒരു
അല്ല, കേക്ക് ബേക്ക് ചെയ്യുന്ന എങ്ങനെയാണെന്ന് എനിക്കറിയാം, പക്ഷെ ലബാസിനെ ഞാൻ തമ്മിലുള്ള ഒരു
സർ ഭയങ്കര റഫ് ആൻഡ് ടഫ് ആണ്, കുറച്ച് സ്വീറ്റ് ആണ്, അങ്ങനെയൊക്കെ കേട്ടിട്ടുണ്ട്, അറിയില്ല പ്രോപ്പർലി. അപ്പോൾ അതെങ്ങനെയാണെന്നൊന്ന് എക്സ്പീരിയൻസ് ഒന്ന് പറഞ്ഞുതരാം സർ.
ഓക്കെ, റഫ് ആൻഡ് ടഫ് ആണ്, സ്വീറ്റ് ആണ്. അങ്ങനെയാണെങ്കിൽ ലബാസിനെ കേക്ക് ബേക്ക് ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ തന്നെയാണ്. Okay, thing is, see, Labasna is like what happens to you there is, when we are preparing, we generally live by a schedule of our own. So the first thing that happens to you when you go to Labasna is, they'll tell you to wake up at 5 o'clock, go and work out, then come back. Whether you bath or not is not their problem. And especially it's the hills and winter season. Unless you have such a commitment to bathing as I have, nobody does. Anyway, thing is, then they expect you to be in the mess, officers mess by like 7:30 or something. I don't know what are the times now, but then by this time you have to be dressed in full suit and things like that. Then by 8:39 you have to be in class. You cannot sleep in class. ക്ലാസ്സിലിരുന്ന് ഉറങ്ങിക്കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ അവിടെ ഒരു തൊപ്പിക്കാരനുണ്ട്, പുള്ളി വന്ന് പേരെഴുതി എടുത്തിട്ട് പോകും. Then they will send you memos to which you have to respond. Basically showcase like that, to which you have to respond. Then up to 1 o'clock there will be classes. From 1 to 2 you are supposed to have your lunch. 2 o'clock before the bell rings you are again supposed to be in your class. By 4:30 you get out, you have to go again do your outdoors. By 7 or 6:37 you will be, only then you will be free. Then you will have your dinner, and then they will say, okay, if you want to have dinner from the officers mess, you have to wear your suit, boot and all again. See, basically, you don't get time for you initially. But having said that, eventually 2 things will happen. Number 1, you kind of get acclimatized to this schedule. Number 2, you start ignoring many of the rules. I mean, at my time, after initial 1.5 months, I never wore my blazer to that place, mess. And sometimes faculty would come around, ask like, why are you not wearing, things like that. Sometimes they also push you out of the mess because you're not wearing. Fine, I'll go outside and eat. Who cares? If you guys don't let us into the mess, your food will go waste. Finally, you will have to let us in. Okay, I mean, life is like that. But generally speaking, Labasna is rough. Labasna is tough. It is also because of the climate. Like, like ours was COVID, it was strange. It started in December, our training. So, from 30 degree at Trivandrum, I went straight to 3 degree. And by the end of December, it was snowing. It was -5, -6. At night, it could be -12, 13. Paksha, at -12, -13, -14 at night, we have stayed outside eventually. So climate will be one thing. Then it's a mountain terrain. You will have to walk a lot. You will have to, physical exertion will be, but it's fun. But all this becomes fun, especially because you are in an environment where your intellect gets stimulated like anything. Like during the foundation course, there will be some 500 people who are all intellectually at another level. Same thing when you are doing, if you got into IAS or something, same thing during your phase 1 training. Pinna, of course, Himalayan Trek, Bharat Darshan, all these are the highlights. We get bonded like anything. നമ്മൾ തുടക്കത്തിലും ത്രൂ ഔട്ട് നമ്മൾ ലബാസിനെ പറ്റി കുറ്റം പറഞ്ഞുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കും വീട്ടിലൊക്കെ വിളിച്ചിട്ട്. പക്ഷെ when it is time to leave that place, most everybody cries. And we keep wanting to go back there because in a way it's like going back to your college. Like one of my best experiences was my degree time, UG. Same thing at Labasna. That is it. But it kind of makes you into it kind of molds your personality. Could be in the good or the bad shape, that you will decide. But thing is, it's an experience. I mean, keep that as a purpose for cracking your exam. To experience Labasna, how the cake is baked. Would it end up becoming, soft, fluffy, or that raw cake kind of thing? Yeah.
Hi, sir.
Yeah.
സാറിൻ്റെ എക്സാമിനേഷൻ എക്സ്പീരിയൻസ് ഒന്ന് പറയാമോ? എങ്ങനെയായിരുന്നു എക്സാമിനേഷന് മുമ്പും അതിനുശേഷം ഹാളിലെ എക്സ്പീരിയൻസ് അങ്ങനെയൊക്കെ?
എക്സാമിനേഷന് മുമ്പ് നല്ല ടെൻഷൻ ആയിരുന്നു, എക്സാമിന് ശേഷം നല്ല വിശപ്പുമായിരുന്നു. ഓക്കെ,
അങ്ങനെ നമ്മൾ നമ്മുടെ ഫീലിങ്സും കാര്യങ്ങളും നമുക്ക് അവിടെ തിങ്ക് ചെയ്യാനുള്ള
ആക്ച്വലി നമുക്ക് ഫീലിങ്സ് അടിക്കാനുള്ള സമയം അവിടെ കിട്ടത്തില്ല കേട്ടോ. തിങ്ക് ഓണസ്റ്റ്ലി, ഐ മീൻ ഈ പറഞ്ഞ മാതിരി വെൻ യു ഗോ ഇൻ ടു എസ്പെഷ്യലി മെയിൻസിന് പോകുമ്പോഴത്തേക്ക് യു ഹാവ് ലൈക്ക് 3 hours and you have to finish these 20 questions. From the moment one, you don't get time to feel or think. ഓക്കെ, നമ്മുടെ യൂണിവേഴ്സിറ്റി എക്സാം ഒക്കെ എഴുതുമ്പോഴത്തേക്കും ഓക്കെ ഈ ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ എനിക്ക് അറിഞ്ഞൂടാന്ന് വിചാരിച്ചിട്ട് ഫ്രസ്ട്രേറ്റഡ് ആവാനൊക്കെ നമുക്ക് സമയം കിട്ടും. ഇത് അതിനൊന്നുമില്ല, അറിഞ്ഞൂടെങ്കിൽ അറിഞ്ഞൂടാ, ലാസ്റ്റ് നോക്കാം, അടുത്ത് എഴുതാം. എന്നാലും ലാസ്റ്റ് വന്നിട്ട് നമുക്കൊന്നും അറിഞ്ഞൂടെങ്കിൽ നമ്മൾ കുറെ വായിച്ചിട്ടുണ്ടാവുമല്ലോ, ആ കണ്ടന്റിൽ നിന്ന് എവിടെ നിന്നൊക്കെ എടുത്തിട്ട് എന്തൊക്കെയോ എഴുതി വെക്കുക. I mean, one thing is you want to complete all the questions. That is it's a given that you want to do that. Then you actually don't get. ഇപ്പോഴും I gave 2 mains, പക്ഷെ അന്ന് സംഭവിച്ചത് എന്താണെന്നുള്ളത് ഒരു പുകമറയിലാണ്. I don't know even now. I mean, I cannot remember because at that point your brain is so much engaged that it doesn't create memories. I cannot remember what happened. എനിക്ക് ഓർമ്മയുള്ള രണ്ട് കാര്യം ഇതാണ്. പോകുന്നതിന് മുമ്പ് ഒരു ടെൻഷൻ, പിന്നെ പോയി ഇറങ്ങി വന്നിട്ട് ഞാൻ എവിടെ ആയിരുന്നു, നമ്മുടെ വിമൻസിൽ എങ്ങാണ്ടായിരുന്നു എൻ്റെ 2 മെയിൻസും എഴുതിയ. അതിനടുത്തൊരു ഹോട്ടലിൽ കുഴപ്പമില്ലാത്ത ബിരിയാണി കിട്ടും. ഈ 2 സാധനം എനിക്ക് ഓർമ്മയുള്ളൂ. I don't remember anything in between. Yeah, I think. I don't remember anything in between.
താങ്ക് യു സർ.
ഹലോ സർ.
Yeah.
സാർ, സാറിന് ഇന്റർവ്യൂ എക്സ്പീരിയൻസ് എങ്ങനെയായിരുന്നു?
Interview, since I was into debating, interview is kind of chill compared to all the other phases. I don't know about everybody, but for me it was like that because I already had that. I was always interested in this kind of interactions. പക്ഷേ something interesting, I mean, maybe some of you may have heard of this. I've said this at a lot of places. But first interview പോകുമ്പോഴത്തേക്കും I went into the interview hall. By the way, interview related കുറെ മിത്തുകളുണ്ട്. People keep propagating these myths that interview board will grill you. They will ask all kind of strange questions. You have to understand, you have to be an encyclopedia to survive that part. You will go and then suddenly they will ask how many benches are there at the park in Hawaii, things like that. Doesn't happen. Interview boards are generally warm, cordial. They are generally good. I mean, they make you really comfortable, then only they'll ask you anything. And most of what will be asked will be based on your detailed application form. So if you are honest in your detailed application form, if you have been honest in what you've written there, you are good. Then of course your current affairs, like that definitely you have to keep preparing. That is the only thing. For me, first interview when I went, the board was very cordial, and first question, it was BB Bharat Bhushan Vyas board. So sir, he was a chair. So sir asked me, like, you have done your PG in literature. So what do you think is the core of literature? Is it prose, poetry, fiction, non-fiction? What is the core of literature? Then suddenly some electron that was traveling randomly through the universe struck my brain. I had a brain wave. I said, sir, the core of literature is humanity. He was impressed. He was impressed like anything. I understood that he was impressed also. So I got like, okay, it's good to go. I was very confident. Not just confident, I was overconfident. I was cocky. So then chairman finishes his questions. Second person, member 1 finishes. Then there was this member 2. It was a lady. I still remember her. Okay. Pretty old lady. So she, I think she was into literature. So she asked me, do you know who is Anna Freud? I said, yes ma'am, I know Anna Freud. So what all principles did Anna Freud lay out? How would I know? I mean, why would I know? How would I know? Then she asked me several things related to literature. Everything I was saying, I am not aware ma'am. I mean, always saying I don't know feels boring, no? Every saying I don't know ma'am, I don't know. So I was saying different phrases like, I am not aware ma'am. Off the top of my head, I cannot remember ma'am. Ma'am, I will be able to remember if you give me a little more time. Ma'am, I used to know this, but Abhi, it's not coming. Like this. So finally she was like, you are a literature student. Can you at least recite 8 lines of a poem? I didn't know. Okay. I couldn't remember anything except Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. I thought of reciting that. Then I thought, okay, what if the board feels this guy is very arrogant? So I said, ma'am, I cannot remember any 8 consecutive lines of poems. I can quote lines, but I cannot remember any consecutive lines. Then she was like, earlier people used to quote the whole of Hamlet off the top of their head. Now literature students, PG students who are doing PhD, they cannot even remember 8 lines. What has the world come to? I was already frustrated. I was getting angry. I was very young then. It was my first interview, 2019. Very young. So, and plus I said, no, I was a debater. So, എന്നെ ചുമ്മാ ചൊറിഞ്ഞു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ ഞാൻ തിരിച്ച് മാന്തും എന്നുള്ള അവസ്ഥയായിരുന്നു. So, I was getting frustrated. So, I said, ma'am, the education system has changed. Earlier, we used to need to by heart learn things by rote. But now, things are changing. We have to be, aware, and we have to be conversant with the present realities. So, she was again opening her mouth. Then the chairman said, Chodo. That Chodo has a very, very, very high historical value in Indian history. I won't talk of that, but you can go and find out. Yeah, Chodo. There is 2 words, Chodo, Todo. There was a confusion, and that confusion changed Indian history. Anyway, so that was like that, Chodo, and I understood, okay, it's gone. It's done for. So, but I scored 170 yaar. After all that, I scored 170 in that interview. So, but still, that is why, like, you cannot really predict what they will ask. And 8 lines of a poem, I couldn't remember at that point. It's like that.
Sir, you spoke about your interest in debating. While you were preparing for civil services, were you able to pursue it? Your passion for public speaking or debating? Or did you put a complete full stop to it and then decided to focus on it once you get into the services?
See, I don't think you need to put a full stop to anything while preparing for civil service. I used to debate, I used to judge even then. Because that used to, for example, going for judging competitions used to give me money also. So I used to judge. By the time I was preparing for civil service, 2 things happened. One is that COVID was there. So competitions in that sense was not happening. But ഞങ്ങള് ഓൺലൈൻ ആയിട്ടൊക്കെ we organized competitions at that time. I was part of all that. I didn't put a complete full stop to anything. I was active in social media even during that time. I used to write. Compared to that time, now only I am, less active in social media. I am not going for public speaking, that kind of thing, because you're part of government, right? So, otherwise, during preparation, I carried along all these things. Otherwise, you will eventually reach a stage where, it will be very bad psychologically. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Yeah. I don't want to keep. I already have a bad name of keeping people from lunch. So yeah. So it's been fun interacting with you guys. So anyway, keep preparing. Have that purpose always. That is a final thing. That is a one thing I would ask all of you to keep in mind. Yeah.
Amrita IAS Academy.